The Sultan of Brunei is one of the richest men alive. He has gold-covered palaces, luxury cars, and power beyond imagination. But despite all of that, he wasn't ready for this. His former wife, Azrinaz Mahar, has made a comeback that no one saw coming. From a quiet life after their royal divorce to a bold, beautiful, and powerful transformation, Azrinaz is shining in ways that even the Sultan didn't expect. And now people say he's in tears. Not because she failed, but because she rose. Higher than ever. And she did it without him. Join us as we take a closer look at their marriage and what went wrong. But first, let's go back to the beginning of the Sultan's life and Azrinaz's journey to truly understand how it all unfolded. The prince who was born to rule. Hassan al-Bolkiah was born on July 15, 1946, in a royal palace called Istana Darussalam. At the time, his uncle was the ruling Sultan of Brunei. His father was next in line for the throne, which meant Hassan al was second in line when he was born. He grew up in a large royal family with 3 brothers and 6 sisters. He started his early education in 1955 at the Istana Darul Hana Surau. It was a small private religious school. Many of his siblings and royal cousins also studied there. His classmate Abdul Ghani later shared that Hassan al was the oldest in the group. Most students were between 5 and 10 years old. Even back then, Hassan al stood out as focused and disciplined. By age 9, he was already studying at Jamalul Alam Malay School in Brunei town. His teacher, Abdul Rahman, taught him for a few months. After that, he continued private lessons at the Surau. He picked up English quickly and loved reading. He also enjoyed learning science, languages, and history. In just a few years, he completed 6 grades of schooling. But this was just the beginning of his journey. Soon he would leave Brunei to continue his education abroad, and what happened next would shape him into the future Sultan, learning abroad and becoming crown prince. After 4 years at the Surau, Hassan al-Bolkiah moved to Kuala Lumpur to study further. He joined Jalan Gurney School and later the famous Victoria Institution. He studied there from 1961 to 1963. This made him the first Sultan of Brunei to study both in his country and overseas. His headmaster, Mr. Muragasu, remembered him as a serious student with great leadership qualities. At Victoria Institution, Hassan al joined the Cadet Corps, where he trained like a young soldier. In 1961, he won the title of Best Recruit. The school's principal, G.E.D. Lewis, said the award was given only on merit, not status. That meant he earned it through hard work, not just because he was royal. By the time he left, he held the rank of Lance Corporal. On July 14, 1961, when he was just 15 years old, he was officially named Crown Prince. The title was Yang Maha Mulia Seri Paduka Duli Pengiran Muda Mahkota. That same year, political trouble broke out in Brunei. In December 1962, the Brunei Revolt happened. British forces had to be sent in to protect the royal family. A British officer named Lieutenant Colonel Digby Willoughby helped rescue Hassan al and his father from their palace. The family never forgot his bravery. But the challenges didn't stop there. Due to tensions between Brunei and Malaysia, Hassan al had to return home in 1963. He finished his schooling at Sultan Omar Ali Saifuddin College in Brunei. Soon after, another big chapter of his life began: his marriage and military training. Marriage, military, and the making of a sultan. In July 1965, Hassan al married his first cousin, Pengiran Anak Saleha. Their wedding was held inside the royal palace. She later became the Queen Consort of Brunei. A few months later, in January 1966, he joined the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst in England. It's one of the most respected military schools in the world. There he studied English, science, maths, and international affairs. He focused on understanding military strategy and the importance of self-discipline. His main interest was learning about how countries, like Russia, handled their military and politics. According to his teachers, he worked hard and took his training seriously. He believed that 2 skills, discipline and responsibility, were key for his future. During his training, he also supported business efforts back home. On August 16, 1966, he praised a Japanese company for launching 2 ships for Brunei. He said Brunei should focus more on local businesses instead of depending on just one income source. This showed he was already thinking like a leader. On September 7, 1966, he and his wife flew back to England to complete his military studies. He finished his training and was officially made an honorary captain in the Coldstream Guards on March 1, 1968. By then, he was ready for something bigger. That moment came in 1967 when his father stepped down and Hassanal became the Sultan of Brunei. Years later, in 1984, when Brunei gained full independence from the UK, he also became the Prime Minister. Since then, he's ruled as one of the few remaining absolute monarchs in the world. But even with all this power, not everything in his life went smoothly, especially when it came to love. As Sultan, Hassan al-Bolkiah didn't have just one wife. His first marriage, as we know, was to his cousin Saleha. She remained his queen. In 1981, he married again. His second wife was Mariam Abdul Aziz, a former flight attendant for Royal Brunei Airlines. For a while, she held the royal title of Pengiran Isteri, but in 2003 she lost her royal status after a first-stage divorce was announced on state TV by Prince Sufri Bolkiah. Then came a different kind of love story. In August 2005, the Sultan married a 33-year-old Malaysian news anchor named Azrinaz Mahar Hakim. Who is Azrinaz Mahar Hakim? Azrinaz Mahar Hakim, often called Naz Mazhar, was born on the 23rd of September 1979 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. She is the second child of Hakim Mazhar bin Mohammed Johar and Fauzia binti Abdullah Mansour. From a young age, Azrinaz seemed to have big dreams and a strong voice. She followed those dreams into the world of journalism. She studied broadcasting at the Malaysian Institute of Integrative Media, MIIM, and graduated in 1997. 2 years later, in 1999, she joined TV3 as a broadcast reporter executive. Her work stood out quickly. She appeared in popular news programs like Bulletin Pagi, Berita Terkini, and Bulletin 1.30. Her presence on screen was calm, confident, and clear. In 2000, Azrinaz was honored with the title Wartawan Harapan, which means Journalist of Hope. 2 years later, she was given the MIIM Alumni Award, a proud moment for both her and her former school. She was not only successful but respected in the media world. But in 2005, everything changed. Azrinaz left TV3 in May. And by August, she was no longer just a reporter. She was a royal. What happened next was something no one could have predicted: the secret royal wedding. In August 2005, the world was stunned by a secret wedding. Azrinaz, who was just 26 years old at the time, married the 58-year-old Sultan of Brunei, Hassan al-Bolkiah. The private ceremony was held at the Sultan's palace in Kuala Lumpur. Only family and close friends attended, and the public found out only after a guest leaked the news. Azrinaz became the Sultan's third wife and was given the royal title Pengiran Isteri, which means princess consort. For many, it seemed like a fairy tale. An ordinary Malaysian woman becoming part of one of the world's wealthiest royal families. She was young, beautiful, and had a successful career. It looked like the perfect match. In 2006, just a year into the marriage, Azrinaz gave birth to their first child, Prince Abdul Wakil. The pregnancy had been kept a secret. But when the prince was born, the royal family celebrated in a grand way. A 21-cannon salute was fired near Istana Nurul Iman, the royal palace in Brunei. 2 years later, in January 2008, Azrinaz gave birth again, this time to a daughter, Princess Amira Wardatul Bolkiah. By then, she seemed fully settled into her royal role. She had 2 royal children, a powerful husband, and a place in the palace. But behind the scenes, things were changing, and in just 2 more years, the fairy tale would come to an end. A sudden and public divorce with Sultan. On June 16, 2010, the Grand Chamberlain of Brunei made a surprise announcement on state TV. He said, "The Sultan has divorced his wife Azrinaz Mahar Hakim, and all the royal titles that have been awarded to the Sultan's former wife have been withdrawn." The reason? "Special reasons," he said, without explaining more. Rumors about the royal split had already been spreading in the capital for weeks, but the news still shocked many people in Brunei and Malaysia. Just like that, Azrinaz's royal chapter was closed. Her title, her decorations, and her royal medals were all taken back. The media called it a quiet but clear cut from the palace. And while the Sultan remained married to his first wife, Queen Saleha, Azrinaz was erased from the royal scene. But what made the situation even more painful was that Azrinaz did not get custody of her children. Prince Abdul Wakil and Princess Amira stayed in Brunei. Many believe they have not seen their mother in person since the divorce in 2010. Still, Azrinaz has never stopped caring. On her social media, she has posted pictures and videos of her children. She once spoke about how sad it is not being able to meet them, maybe due to royal rules. This was not just the end of a marriage, it was the end of a chapter that had once promised so much. But Azrinaz didn't disappear. She chose to start again. A new chapter, a new life. After her divorce from the Sultan of Brunei in 2010, Azrinaz Mahar Hakim returned to Malaysia. She had lost her royal title, the palace life, and everything that came with it. But she didn't let that stop her. She stood back up, with strength, grace, and a plan to start fresh. 8 years later, in May 2018, she found love again. She married Firoz Khan Abdul Hamid in a quiet and private wedding at her home. Only close friends and family were there. This time it was not about gold and crowns. It was about peace, love, and starting a new chapter on her own terms. Not much is known about Firoz Khan's personal fortune, but many believe he is well off. He's said to be involved in several business ventures, and his marriage to Azrinaz points to a stable lifestyle. Together, they are known to invest wisely. From real estate to stocks, they've built a life of responsible wealth. They don't just enjoy their success, they use it for good. The couple is also known for giving back through charity and other causes. But the biggest joy in her life came not from wealth, but from growing her family once again. Motherhood. Again. After her second marriage, Azrinaz became a mother again. She gave birth to her third child, a daughter named Arisia Maleka binti Firoz Khan, on the 15th of September 2019. The baby was born at Gleneagles Hospital in Kuala Lumpur. It was a moment of happiness for Azrinaz and her new husband. And then came another surprise. On the 1st of February 2021, Azrinaz shocked her fans with a pregnancy announcement. She posted a picture from a maternity photo shoot on Instagram with the caption, "This is not a throwback. What you see in this picture is happening now. Pink or blue, what to adore, here we go with my number 4. At that time, she was already 7 months pregnant, with her fourth child, at the age of 42. She added, "Alhamdulillah Syukur. Allah is blessing me and my husband by giving me another chance to carry another life again at this age." Her words were full of gratitude. She said she didn't expect to have another baby so soon after Arisia, but believed it was the right time. "Why wait when I can do it now?" she said with joy. Her youngest daughter, Athira Medina binti Firoz Khan, was born on the 26th of March 2021, also at Gleneagles in Kuala Lumpur. With this, Azrinaz became a mother of 4, 2 children from her first marriage to the Sultan, and 2 from her new life with Firoz Khan. She also asked friends and followers to keep her and the baby in their prayers for a smooth delivery. Her post was not just about joy, it was about hope, faith, and strength. It showed that even after heartbreak, life can bring new blessings. Azrinaz now lives away from the royal world, but she lives with purpose. Her journey, from newsrooms to palaces, from heartbreak to motherhood, is one that continues to inspire many. But her story doesn't end there. In fact, what came next took everyone by surprise, and showed the world a whole new side of Azrinaz. Azrinaz Mahar's unexpected transformation. There was a time when Azrinaz Mahar Hakim was known simply as the former wife of the Sultan of Brunei. A beautiful journalist who became royalty overnight, her name was tied to one of the richest monarchs in the world. But today, if you visit her Instagram profile, you'll realize she's no longer living in the shadow of her past. Azrinaz has transformed, and not just in appearance, but in strength, independence, and spirit. It's the kind of transformation that doesn't just inspire, it stings those who once let her go. Her Instagram account, followed by more than 500,000 people, feels like a window into her new life. Gone is the woman defined by a royal title. In her place stands a proud mother, a writer, and a woman who has reclaimed her identity. Whether it's motivational quotes, moments of deep prayer, or her disciplined workout routines, Azrinaz shows the world that she's thriving, not in spite of her past, but because she took control of her future. Scroll through her feed, and you'll see it clearly. The quiet strength in her eyes, the confidence in her posture. One photo shows her sitting calmly on a row of bicycles in sporty attire, wearing a leather jacket and a determined expression. Another shows her standing tall after what looks like a rigorous workout. Her arms are raised, not in surrender, but in victory. Azrinaz isn't just living, she's rising. But what makes her transformation even more striking is the balance she maintains between faith and self-growth. In one reel, she delivers a speech wearing a soft hijab, speaking with grace, poise, and clarity. Another post shows a powerful Ramadan quote, reminding followers to keep their intentions pure. Her journey isn't just physical, it's deeply spiritual. This is a woman who has found peace within herself. And it's this peace, this glow, this unapologetic happiness that may quietly haunt the Sultan of Brunei, now glowing without a crown. Once married into the world's wealthiest royal family, Azrinaz's marriage to the Sultan ended in 2010. The details of their split were kept private, as is common in royal circles, but the silence spoke volumes. For many, she seemed to vanish from public life after the divorce. But now, years later, she has returned. Not with headlines, but with presence. Her profile isn't flashy. It's not about showing off wealth or seeking validation. Instead, it's filled with meaningful content, faith, family, discipline, and reflection. Her Friday quotes are subtle but deep. Her photos with her daughter show a side of her that is warm, nurturing, and real. There's a video of her little girl smiling while holding a bouquet, reminding everyone that Azrinaz is not just rebuilding her life, she's building something new, full of love and purpose. One can't help but wonder how the Sultan feels seeing her now. Not the woman he married, not the woman who left the palace, but the woman she has become. Independent, empowered, and whole. There's a quiet tragedy in realizing you let someone slip away before they became their best self. And for someone like the Sultan, who lives surrounded by opulence and protocol, seeing someone you once called yours evolve so beautifully outside your world must strike a chord. She doesn't need the title anymore. She doesn't need the palace. Her glow comes from something no wealth can buy: self-love and freedom. And perhaps that's what stings the most: strength, softness, and self-worth. Azrinaz Mazhar Hakim today is a symbol of what happens when you heal, grow, and reclaim your narrative. She could have chosen bitterness. She could have stayed hidden, defined forever by a chapter that closed too soon. But instead she chose to rise, to lift weights, to raise her voice, to wear her hijab with pride, and raise her daughter with love, to speak of death and prayer with sincerity. She chose herself. It's rare to see such an elegant mix of strength and softness. Her profile shows us a woman who can wear heels and ride a bike, who can work out hard then pray harder, who can share a motivational quote then show up for her child with a smile. She's layered. She's evolved. She's powerful in a quiet, grounded way. And that kind of woman isn't easy to forget. So when the world says the Sultan of Brunei was seen emotional after Azrinaz's unexpected transformation, it's not hard to believe. Because this isn't just about a physical glow-up. It's about the pain of seeing someone you once held close become untouchable, not by status, but by self-worth. He may have had the world at his feet, but she found her world within herself, and now everyone else is seeing it too. Do you think Azrinaz's transformation might have changed how the Sultan sees her and why? Share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe for more such stories.